Hello, guys, and welcome to a Lord of the Rings movie tier list video. Let's get into it. By the way, personal opinion, alright? We'll see how we go. Um, I'll be honest, I haven't seen all of these, especially these three, but I've seen the rest of them, so I'm just gonna give these guys a bit of a dud vote, but the rest of them I have seen, and we're gonna be going through them. This won't be a crazy long video. We're just going to do a brief overview, straight to the point. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Um, I feel like a lot of people are pretty harsh on the Hobbit movies. I'm a bit lighter on them. But yeah, let's get into them. So these three animation movies, I never saw them. I just searched up just then that Christopher Tolkien's son didn't like these movies at all. Um, in saying that, he also wasn't a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies, so he's probably a harsh critic. But um, he might be onto something here, guys. It's animation. I have seen clips of it. For what at the time it was probably decent. Um, but it's just probably, I don't know. It's a bit outdated. Um, so yeah, I'm sure they could be a bit better or a bit worse, but I just haven't seen them, so hard to comment. That's kind of just a guess if I were to watch it, because the clips I have seen on YouTube aren't that bad. So I guess we can go. We can do it in order, I suppose. Actually, no. Let's go worst to best. Let's go worst to best. So pretty accurate already. War of the Rohirrim. So the thing with War of the Rohirrim, it shouldn't have been animation. If this was live action, would have been a lot better. And that goes with a lot of shows like Darth Maul and a few shows like that. I get it, animation might be cheaper or whatever, but it just doesn't work. I don't, in my opinion. In saying that, the first I want to say third of the movie, it was great. Um, like the whole starting point with Helm and all of that. But as soon as they retreated to Helm's Deep, it just got very slow and not much was happening, and there was a few random storylines that didn't really make sense. So if the first third held up through the whole movie, I'd be inclined to give it a B. To be honest, the first like almost hour was great, but it just dropped off. And there's a few political woke like I'm not. It's fine to have girl leads, but you can tell they kind of just did it for the sake of doing it. Like I'm just gonna be honest. So yeah, D. D for that one. Could have been good, but they messed it up, in my opinion. Okay, Hobbit movies. Okay, so if we look at The Hobbit now, compared to what movies are coming out at the moment, I think we're in a bit of a bad spot with a lot of movies. I think if The Hobbit came out today, it would be great. Just because there's so many crappy movies out there. Like The Hobbit actually is a good watch for the most part. Um, especially like uh the first one, I think. So let's start with the first one. I'm gonna go A tier. I think it's pretty good. I can watch The Hobbit. Obviously, Lord of the Rings is better, but I can still watch The Hobbit on repeat, um, which is great. Um, Desolation of Smaug. The one thing I like with Desolation of Smaug is Thorin's dragon sickness. I feel like they actually do that pretty well in the movies. But there's a few quirky scenes, but it's not as bad as people say, in my opinion. I'm gonna give it like a B plus or an A minus. So maybe we put it. Uh, I'm gonna put it B only because these two are a good chunk better. The middle one's just a little bit slow, especially when they go into Mirkwood. Like that whole process is a bit slow. Um, but yeah, I especially when they like get the Mirkwood sickness like makes them go a bit crazy. But yeah, I think the Hobbit movies honestly underrated. A lot of people put them like maybe the first one in B and the rest of them in C. I think they're pretty good, especially by today's standards. Like, compared to everything else that's coming out, they're actually really good. Especially compared to Rings of Power. Like, this is a masterpiece compared to Rings of Power. In case anyone was wondering, that would also go D, Rings of Power. Okay, and obviously, these are all S tier. I think there's no debate there. Honestly, you could say any of these are your favorite, and that's cool. I think so. I'm usually a Return of the King guy, then probably Fellowship, then probably Two Towers, just because I don't know. It's just how it is. But they're all great. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I might have been too nice to the Hobbits, maybe too harsh on War of the Rohirrim. Problem with that had so much potential. But they kind of just made a weird storyline out of it when they didn't need to. Could have just kept it really simple, live action. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Leave a comment on what your favorite ones are. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.